Hello everybody and welcome back to Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about a dear friend of mine whose recipe we'll be demoing today. His name is Chef Del Sroufe. I've known Del for, many years now. I'd say about maybe 7-8 years, Dale, would you say, when we met? He's a wonderful human being, a very kind soul, and he has shared his journey into plant-based eating with the entire world, how he's transitioned into this way of living. He's done amazing cookbooks. He is the co-author of Forks Over Knives, the official plant-based cookbook. He has his own cookbooks. One of them we're going to use today, the China Study Family Cookbook. And we're going to take a recipe from this, but I wanted to tell you about a group that he started on Facebook, and I'm going to open it up so I can show it to you. And it's called Diet Days with Chef Del. Can you see that, everybody? I highly recommend that if you are struggling with your weight and you want to find a way to take it off permanently and in the most healthy way, you want to be a part of this group. They meet online. Del will share with you great information about the importance of eating a whole food plant-based diet, and he's going to explain how it's best to take it off slowly, but sticking with something like this. To date, Del has lost about 70 pounds. It's probably a little bit more than that now because he posted that a couple weeks ago. But he is on a journey to really taking control of something that he has publicly struggled with his entire life, and that is his weight. So he's doing this by being the leader of this support group through the T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. He's got over, I think, 2,500 members. You can tune in and be part of it, and I highly recommend it. But what we're going to cook today is one of my favorite recipes that Del introduced me to about 3-4 years ago in North Carolina when he was an instructor at a cooking summit. It was the Global Roots Cooking Summit, and we made millet sausage. And we made this sausage to put on top of our homemade pizzas. But there's so many things you can do with this. So tonight I'm going to use mine as part of my spaghetti sauce. It makes the spaghetti outstanding. So all I did was I took a 1/4 cup of really fine chopped onions, and as you can see, I browned them in my little skillet here. Now the next thing that we're ready to do is we're going to add our garlic and sun-dried tomatoes that I have chopped up very fine. I'm going to put them in, and just for a minute we're going to let these go. Now I've got a little bit of water here. Let me grab it because sometimes it sticks. I'm just going to put like a little teaspoon of water in so this does not stick. Remember, we don't use any oil in our cooking. So if something is sticking, just add a tablespoon or a teaspoon of water. And this needs to be just for about a minute. Oh, because you want these flavors to blend, so I always do this. Oh, you can smell how beautiful they are. Sun-dried tomatoes are one of my favorite ingredients to cook with because they add so much flavor to any dish. So I'm going to give this a few more seconds. I can see it's really doing well. Add just a drop more water. See how it's browning up? Everything looks great. Now, before I came online, I made some millet. Now, millet is a very healthy whole grain, and I took 1 cup of millet with 2 cups of water, and I cooked it slowly for about 20-25 minutes. Now, one thing Del did explain to us when we were learning how to make the sausage is that you want the millet to be sticky. So check this out. If I were to touch it with my fingers, it's very sticky. So you might want to add a little bit more water to it than he recommends. So I did. When it cooked for 20 minutes, I added maybe 1/4 cup more water and let it cook down more because you want it to be very sticky so it will act as a real binder in the sausage. And that's been set aside and it's cooled. Now we've done enough of this, we're going to add our seasonings, which are sage, I want to make sure I've got these right, and fennel seeds and crushed red pepper flakes. So that's what that looks like. And I will post this recipe under the description page on my YouTube channel. So I'm just going to add those in, and I'm going to put in a little bit of tamari. Ooh, let me turn that down. That gave a good noise, didn't it? I'm just going to combine all this. It's so easy to make. And I would suggest that you make a double batch of these because I keep them in my freezer so I can go and get these patties out at any moment in time and add them to sauces or on top of pizza or have them with pancakes. So that looks wonderful. Now let me just get to the directions, make sure we get everything right. Okay, so we're going to turn this off. We've added everything in here, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our nutritional yeast, and I've got that measured out here. I think it's a 1/4 cup. We're going to put that in, and then we're going to add the millet that I cooked. So I'm going to do all this, and here comes our millet. And watch this. It's magic how this turns into millet sausage. Now, I usually do it in a bigger fry pan. Now I know why. I don't know why I use the small one, but we'll try to... Ooh, that was hot. We're going to combine this as best we can. That was my oven preheating, because you do want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So as you can see, I'm just combining all of this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a bowl, because it will be easier to combine. So let me get out a big bowl. This makes much more sense. And I'll transfer this without burning my hand this time into this bowl. There we go. Now I can really combine it much better. Yes, I see that. Yeah, the nutritional yeast was stuck on the bottom there. Let me just add a drop of water. I'm going to try and get some of this out. A little water won't hurt this. It'll actually be a good thing when we get all these flavors in here. Okay. All right. So I think if you do join the Facebook group that Dell has, it will teach you ways to stay on this whole food plant-based way of living. Keeping foods in your home that are healthy for you, not bringing things in that cause temptation. Batch cooking, like I said to do for these guys. You want to have foods ready to go so that when you're hungry, they are going to be there for you and you won't be looking for something that's not so good for you. So as you can see, I'm trying to mix this up really well. I think I've got it now. And then we're going to move over to my little baking sheet here in a second. Just get one more little thing mixed up here on the bottom. Oh, it's nice and sticky. I like this. Okay, we're going to come over here. And all I have to do now is I'm going to take my little measuring cup. I'm going to get it wet so that the millet doesn't stick to it. You take a 1/4 cup measuring spoon and you just put it on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and we're going to see how many we get out of here. And these are little millet sausages. Now they don't spread out, so you don't have to worry about, and we're going to flatten them. You don't have to worry about them, you can put as many as you want in a row here. Okay, that's 3. Now I better wet this again so we can get them out easier. And oh my gosh, they're so delicious. I always say when you find a good recipe, you don't have to try other recipes. So I would never try another millet sausage recipe because I am loyal to Chef Dell and to this recipe. It's that delicious. And in his book, you will see how to make homemade pizza, which I also make, which is unbelievable. He makes unusual pizzas that I love unusual. One is apple with sauerkraut. Can you believe that? But let me tell you, it's delicious. Did you remember that one, Dale?
I do.
We've had that many times.
Very good.
It's so delicious. And I think you can't go wrong purchasing any of Dell's cookbooks because they're all good. They are all good. And they don't use oil, and he tries to minimize, salt. And I know now in particular he's probably doing a lot more of that, and no sugar. So it's very, very healthy eating. But delicious. He even has one, I like his family cookbook because, when you have children, you want to figure out things that they're going to like and that they're going to eat. And he has lots of great ideas. So look at this. We're going to get, we already have a dozen. We're going to get one more probably. So see all this I'm going to have in my freezer? I love it. I'm going to share a little of this guy because he's too big and he's too small. Then what I do, you wash my hands here 1 second. I'm going to take I'm going to take a spatula, I think. Let me grab one. There's my little spatula. Here we go. I'm going to take this and I'm going to wet this, and I'm just going to push down on my sausages to make them look like sausages. Okay, there we go. They're so cute too, aren't they? They're so cute. I just love these guys. So guess what we're having for dinner tonight, Dale? We're having spaghetti with marinara sauce infused with chef's sausages. That's it. Look how gorgeous those are. So all you're going to do is we're going to stick them in a 350-degree oven, and I'll tell you how long. Bake for 15 minutes, and then we're going to flip them and bake them another 10 minutes, and that's it. So I'm going to put them in the oven now, and try these as soon as you can, because they are delicious. There they go. So have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you next time in Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. So long for now.